of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the July 8th, the terrific or thirsty Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. So let's do this. We've got the markets that are trading lower. I see we've got a caller on the line already, so there's a lot to talk about. So let's first go right out to our caller. Of course, I'd love to hear from you. You can give us a call at 877-927-6648, just like Jim did, or you can send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. And then inside our Tigers Den, where you can just send me any kind of ping, private or public. So let's go out to Jim in Palm Harbor. Jim, thanks for calling. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
Very good. Thanks so much for asking. BLL, I believe, is the ticker symbol you want to take a look at. Tell the folks how I can best help you and what you're looking at doing.
Well, I was looking to buy. I've been watching it for about a week and a half, and I was interrupted this morning, and I couldn't get online to look at anything. I've been waiting for it to break out from its consolidation on a day chart, and it broke out this morning, and I just wondered if I'm too late now to get in.
Interesting. So absolutely breaking out wide price spread you've got. Volume-wise, you've got volume 2.5 million shares already. And this thing has gone from a low of 82.16 up to a high of 85.94. You're not that far away from the high right now, 85.70. So it's trading into a gap here. It looks like it's going to repair that broken window, that gap to the downside. That was the low of 85.30. You're trading above the top of the daily. Bearish structured profile above the top of the weekly at this stage here. And if price closes tomorrow above 84.87, the message there, Jim, is it wants to move to 95.46. Now, let me get this chart going, BLL, on my other background charts. We'll at least be able to pull up the daily, the weekly, and the 30-minute here as soon as it populates. And what we're going to try to figure out is whether or not there's any kind of sign on the short term, the 30-minute chart, for any kind of a top and then a pullback. A retracement. So here's the daily time frame chart. And then the daily time frame chart, your signal to go long occurred on June 22nd. And June 20, and that was because that was a bullish reversal candle. No charts. Yikes. Okay, let's get the charts up here. Oh, you're just looking at my face? That's not going to help anybody out. Let's see if this pulls up. Yeah, so you should be able to see the chart now. Sorry about that. So back to the chart here. Price had been moving lower, with less relative energy, and a bullish reversal signal to confirm that bottom. That was that rising window or that gap to the upside on June 22nd. So that was a signal. Now I can see there's an A to B equals CD pattern that is in play right now. I can't draw it on this chart. I will on the black background chart in a moment. So on the weekly, let me just see what the weekly chart is signaling to us. Price had pulled back, so it formed a TD9 count top. Price pulls back to the breakout level of 78.58. Does that about 4 weeks ago. So that's held. Price is sitting right now on the weekly chart, Jim, right at the oscillator unchanged line. So it's really sitting at resistance. So I wouldn't suggest jumping on that train right at this second. You want to see how price handles this level. So that's a signal to us because that's a sign of a potential resistance level where we could see a pullback. As we look to the 30-minute time frame chart, we're going to see that it formed bar number 8 at 1 o'clock. So a TD9 count pattern on the 30-minute chart should form, either has formed or will form by 2 p.m. because that bar number 9 is what's forming now, and we know that the high of that pattern can form in the bar following bar number 9. So the way that I would look at this is if a TD9 count top forms, and it looks like it will, if you see a close above that, then, Jim, that could be a signal for you to go ahead and begin to tiptoe into a position out here, because this would be talking about a strong momentum move for the 30-minute time frame to the upside. Whereas if it pulls back, then what you're looking for is one possible entry area is 84.87. It's at 85.80 right now, so it's about $1 difference. 84.87 is that oscillator and change line. So when there's a top that forms, the very first target, unless there's some profiles that are active, which we don't have at this stage right here. I mean, they're well below where price is trading. They're at 82.88 as an example. That would become the first target to the downside. So because of that TD9 count pattern, I think that for the next hour or so, you've already been careful up to this point in time. I would still be patient for that. Does that make sense?
Sure does. The only thing different that I didn't see was the TD9 count on the 30-minute. I had it already turned to a 1 again and still going up. So I don't know. It's probably my system, the way it handles TD9 counts.
Yeah, so I don't know how to just refresh the screen just to make sure. If you send me an email, Jim, and I can send you this chart if you need to. But you're pretty good with the TD9s. But if yours isn't tying out to what I'm showing right now, send me an email. I can send this to you. You could probably just stop this and freeze this on Tiger TV as an example out there. That would be another way for you to do that.
I appreciate it, Steve. Thank you very much.
Oh, you bet. And good to talk to you, and best of luck. That was Jim in Palm Harbor out there. So we've got a couple of minutes here. Let's just do this before we go back to the markets. There were a number of, there were three instruments that had a request yesterday. I believe everybody was looking for bottoms. One is a ticker symbol CIEN out here. And I don't have any kind of a bottom signal. I believe this might be for Susanna in Canada. And on the daily time frame chart, this could be forming an A to B equals CD to the downside. It hasn't taken out that swing point. It's being tested right now. And that's a swing point from back on June the 18th out there. That's on the daily time frame chart. The weekly time frame chart's not really providing me with a ton of information out here. The 30-minute chart, I don't have a really great signal for you on this instrument right now. It's trading below the bottom of its profile, no bottoming signal, back into a gap out here. I think you need to be patient on CIEN, Susanna. So I think that was one of the requests. And then the second request was for ticker symbol SHWZ. And I don't know what this instrument is. I don't need to know what it is. We're just really looking at the chart patterns on a daily basis here. This one, yesterday was bar number 7 of a TD9 count as price was testing its breakout support level of 225. Today's going to be bar number 8. But you need to see a spike below yesterday's low either today, tomorrow, or on Monday. And if you get that and price closes back up 225, that would be your signal that you've got a bottom in here. You've got some resistance levels to deal with. 237, 247, 265. But that would be your signal on a daily basis for SHWZ to begin a long position. So hope that helps you out, Susanna. The third one was BKNG. And there's a request to take a look at that. And we'll do that when we get back from this break. And then we'll go to the general markets, what they're doing, because I know that everybody's interested in that. Why did price stop where it did? And where's it headed from here? We'll be back in just a few.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So Booking Holdings was a request from yesterday, as were the first two. We just didn't have time to get to them. And here in Booking Holdings, the question is, where's the buy point? So in this one, it's a little bit tricky. Here's what we know. We take a look at how this is on the day, what the daily charts are communicating. So the first time down in this price here, where it's trading right now, was back in the trading session of March 4th. 484,000 shares traded on that day. The next time the price got down to this level was back on May the 12th. The volume there, lighter volume, 417,000. Then we're down here a couple weeks ago, June 28th, 600,000. And then yesterday, down at that same level with only 273. So really from a volume matrix standpoint, you're really the key level of support. Now, if we did see a close below the price point of 2162.14, that could or should set up an A to B equals CD to the downside. So knowing that that level is held, in today's even lighter volume and testing that swing point area, the only caution about, let me turn off these trend lines here just for a moment. The caution about getting into the long trade, although this is the signal to get into the long trade now based upon the test of these swing points. But the problem is, or the potential problem is, yesterday price closed below the bottom of a bullish structured daily profile. And today, if price does not close above 2179.25 out there, it's still below that area. And I would hesitate to suggest that you get into that trade. I'd rather you get in that trade at a higher price, in fact, with a close above 2192, because if this is just a counter trend move, and take a look at each profile. We've got profiles that are forming below other profiles out here. The bullish structured profile should have held. So if it can get back inside today, okay. And even if it could close above 2179, then I can see you taking the trade, and you would certainly jettison that trade with a close below today's low. Although you don't need a close below today's low. It's really the low, I believe, from the trading session of May 13th. At 2162 out there, because that would be the B point of the A to B equals CD to the downside should it unfold. But we can see on the weekly chart, prices held support, the top of its weekly profile out there. And with regard to my other charts, as far as signals are concerned for BKNG, there is no bottom signal. So this is really just a swing point coming back to the swing point area, or the TD9 breakout level of 2161.78, which it tested yesterday and is testing today. But until price gets back inside that box, quite frankly, really needs to get above Stevie's red line, 2202. It's saying be cautious. Now, Let's look at the 30-minute time frame chart and see what signals we have out here. Here we can see a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom that formed a couple of hours ago. But what price has not done on BKNG, and this is really critical, is taken out resistance. If 2181 falls, then at least the 30-minute chart is giving you a signal of the potential change in trend, or at least move to the upside. Otherwise, it's just been a counter trend rally. So watch 2181 with regard to BKNG. That's the 30-minute time frame. That would be your first signal, and that would also perhaps get you back inside the daily profile, the bottom of which is 2179. So thanks for waiting an extra day on BKNG. I hope that helps you out. Now, let's go take a look at the general markets, see what has transpired, try to walk through this stuff one at a time. And the one at a time means let's begin by taking a look at the equity futures contracts. Now, the new signals or the new information that has arrived since we were together yesterday is inside the ES and the NQ. And both of these have new profiles that are attempting to form. You may recall yesterday, I believe it was the ES, had a new profile that had formed below price. And our message there was, well, the message of that is very bullish. But that profile did not take hold. And therefore, it's possible that today's profile will not take hold either. However, we use the data that we have. We're using Stevie's advanced Doppler tool out here. Isn't that a cool thing? I think it's a cool thing because it lets us know where buyers and sellers are positioned. And without this stuff, I could not be able to come on to this show with you with conviction behind what it is that I'm sharing with you. In other words, I don't want to pull something out of thin air or out of my arse or something like that. I am not into doing that type of stuff. And I just know that trading without these profile levels, I could not really navigate this market, not this clearly for you. And all I'm doing is narrating the charts. So knowing that we have a bullish structured profile, it is very clear to you and I that that is a key level of support that must hold. Will it hold or not? I don't know, but it's a key level of support. Now, we won't know how key it is until this evening when we get a confirmation as to whether this profile holds or not. But we still use that information. That information says we've got to watch 4273 to 4282. If this market is going to turn bearish, if this market, when I say bearish, I'm referring to it directionally speaking, not a 20% correction, but directionally speaking, there's going to be a change in trend. There must be a close below the bottom of the daily profile. Quite frankly, it's two closes below that. And that makes right now 4273. If you're trying to figure out why did price stop where it did, well, it's these profiles. And the answer is right here on that screen. It is these profiles. So get access to these profiles, whether you join the TAS program or you just subscribe to Mastering Probability, where you're going to get all this information. It will be extraordinarily helpful for you. Whether you're an intraday trader, it's Tom terrific. If we take a look at the NQ, it too is trying to form a profile. Now, in its case, unlike the ES Mini, this is a bearish structured profile. It may be easier for you. In fact, I'm sure it will be easier for you for me to turn off price right now, just so you can see the profile. So let me get that. I'm going to turn off price. And now you'll sort of see today's profile. The top is at 14,663. The center is almost where the top of yesterday's profile was at 14,608, and then you've got the bottom out here at 14,443. So it's a bearish structured profile. Now, whether this is going to take hold today or not, I don't know. We use it while we have it. And at this stage here, price is trading above the top of that bearish structured daily profile. So answer the question for me. Is the NQ bearish, bullish, or neutral? Well, let's just simply knock out one of the three. It is not bearish. In order to get bearish, price must close below the bottom of its profile, and that is at 14,443. Those of you that have been longtime viewers and listeners of the show, you know I will put up a chart that goes back over historically to take a look at how each of these equity futures trades. We take a look at the bottom of their daily profiles, and it's just very clear to us that is when a change in trend occurs. For those of you wondering where the buy the effing dipsters are, can it possibly be more clear to us? I don't think that it can be more clear to us. Now, that being said, support having held out here, these two instruments still have some problems, or at least they did at 5-1. Let's go see if they still have them. And what I'm referring to is market breadth. So we take a look at market breadth, and this is updated right now. What we can see, this is for the S&P 500, so in essence for the ES Mini, but for the S&P 500, we now know that right now there are 157 instruments trading above the top of their daily profile. but 189 are trading below the bottom of their profile. And that's where we have this little bearish crossover. So this says on a daily basis out here, the S&P 500 or the ES Mini is not likely to take out the 43.53 level. So it does have some problems on its daily time frame. Now, this is going to be more important come the end of the day than it is at 1:26 in the afternoon. The Nasdaq, which is incredibly strong, much stronger than the ES Mini, we say that because price is above the top of its bearish structure daily profile. Well, it too has a slight bearish crossover. When I say slight, there's 31 instruments inside the NDX 100 trading below the bottom of their profile and 29 trading above the top. So it's really a coin flip here inside the NQ, but they do have some troubles out there. So it's not clear sailing, is all Stevie is saying. With regard to the Dow Equity Future Contract, all it's done is test and held the top of its daily profile. That says bullish to neutral out here. And the Russell 2000, let's go take a look at that when we get back from this break.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the Russell 2000 Equity Future Contract. We've got our 8-panel multi-time frame out here. And really our focus right now is just going to be on two of those. It's going to be the daily time frame, So when we take a look at the key levels of support that have held inside the Russell 2000, it's going to be its breakout area. Tom O'Brien, he will tell you that the understanding the breakout area, there's nothing more key to understanding when something is pulling back, whether it's pulling back into a breakout level. Well, here, to obtain these breakout areas, what we do is we use the TD9 count pattern. That way it is completely objective, and you get to see just how well it works. Well, 2201.70 is the exact TD9 breakout level. It has now been tested really just once. It got close to it a couple of weeks ago, but you can see today was a test, a perfect test of that level, which is held. And right now you've got a hammer candle. I don't know what the candle is going to look like at 5 o'clock this evening, but right now you've got a bullish hammer candle. Again, I don't know. So key support has held. We took a look at support in the Dow. We took a YM. We took a look at support in the NQ and support in the ES Mini. And before we went to that break, I said all key levels of support have held. So I just simply want to make sure that you are understanding what key levels it is that we're looking at out here so that you can help interpret what the market is communicating to us. So when it comes to the Russell 2000, the communication is this is nothing more than consolidation. We've got the so-called double top. We've got the double triple bottom out here. And we could do the triple Lindy if we had a pool and we had a diving board. So out here, support is held. You're just into consolidation inside the weekend to see out here the Russell 2000. Now, if it closes below 2201.70 and does it for 2 consecutive sessions, then we have a different message. But we have to go with the message that's being communicated to us at 1:30 in the afternoon out there. And that goes to answer Stash's question, which you sent earlier this morning, which was, something about this crash that's going on out here. Well, if you don't know where support is, where key levels of support are, you would interpret with the you'd wake up in the morning to see the Dow's future are down 450 and you'd think that the world's coming to an end. But we don't do that. You and I, we don't do that. Instead, what we do is we take a look and we say, hey, where's support? What are the patterns that are going on? In fact, if we take a look at patterns out here in the weekend to see, that would be the 30-minute chart. I said we would take a look at 2 charts out here. Let's make sure we do that. Here you can see Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It forms right here with the hammer. It was both a hammer and a doji, and that bottom came in right here at 8:30 this morning. Now, that low was tested. The hammer candle was tested several different times. In fact, you got another confirmation of that Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom at 11:30 when it formed another bullish reversal candle out here. Now what price is doing, price has made its way up to that counter trend rally level, which is its TD9 breakdown area, which is 2242.70. That area has been tested. It's been rejected out here. This could signal, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Russell 2000 pull back and test its oscillator and change line. That's at 2223 or thereabouts out here. If, on the other hand, and there's no topping signal, even though you're seeing these counts out here, there's no TD9 count. This is bar number 8. It's bar number 6. That's the high. So there's no TD9 count top out here. So if price pulls back, tests and rejects that oscillator and change line, let's say 2223, 2226 type level, and moves higher, that could set up an A to B equals CD to the upside. Whereas if price closes below the oscillator and change line, 2224, then you're looking at 2214 to 2195 as the run. So that's the message inside the Russell 2000. What we should do is go take a look at what the message is inside the ES and the NQ. So let's switch over and take a look at the ES out here. Here on the ES, what do we know? Well, we know that today could generate, so we talked about the S&P 500 and its market breadth on a daily basis, and it was showing a bearish crossover, meaning that there should be selling pressure. Of course, it's going to be an end-of-day reading, not the one that we looked at about 1:20 in the afternoon. Here what we can see is if price is able to still hold its oscillator and change line, which currently is priced at 43.21, and we're at 43.19 right now, so just 2 points. If price can close above that oscillator and change line, even though we would still have a bearish engulfing candle, price will have held that key level of support, that oscillator and change line. That line is so important for you to be able to properly interpret the message of the instrument that you are trading for its time frame. It's mind-blowing how well it works to assist us in understanding what the markets are communicating to us. And if price holds that level, the ES Mini is neutral to bullish with regard to its signal. Now, it doesn't tell us what's going to happen next, but it does tell us with regard to how to interpret today's activity out here. So when we take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart for the ES Mini, it formed a TD9 count this morning. It was on bar following bar number 9. That was exactly at 6:30. That low was tested a few times. We've never seen a close below it. Now, unlike the Russell 2000 equity future contract that had run into resistance, remember the Russell is the weaker of the four. The ES Mini is saying, I'm not done moving to the upside. The reason that we say that is you've got that nice TD9 count bottom and price is now above resistance. Resistance is 43.15. Our message, or its message, would change if price were to close below 43.15. If that does not happen, price is going to go target 43.42. I don't know if it'll make it all the way up there, but that's the next level of resistance, 43.42 out here. So watch 43.15, and then I'd say watch today's high. If you move above today's high out here, the 43.42 level becomes the price target. That's on the ES Mini. Let's go take a look at the NQ, see what kind of signals it was sending to us. Well, on the daily time frame, it's absolutely bullish. Granted, it is going to be easy, because yesterday was a small-bodied candle. So it's very easy to create a small-bodied bearish engulfing candle out here. That's the candle that is present at the moment. But watch the level of 14,674. Again, as price moves lower, that number will come down a bit. But so say 14,670. If there's a close below 14,670, the NQ will be signaling to us a potential of a change in trend. We need 2 consecutive days. What it would really be signaling to us is a move down to 14,443. Remember, the NQ is attempting to form a bearish structured daily profile, but price is above the top of that right now. So don't get too overly enthusiastic to the downside out here. If we look at its 30-minute time frame chart, it most certainly is not generating a signal that it's ready to move lower. When we take a look at it, it too generated a nice bottom this morning. It generated a TD9 count, came back and followed up with a nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, traded inside a bullish structured profile, and price is now above that. In looking at this chart, even though it's hard to read, make out that number out there, but that green line, if I were to ask you, where is the NQ headed to? And where is it that if you're going to attempt a short trade, where would you do that at? And you would come back and you would say, oh, that's easy, Stevie. That's at 14,785. You're in bar number 6. Odds favor that this is going to go ahead and be able to make its way up to perhaps bar number 9 out there. This is a half-hour chart. We're only in bar number 6. It's bar numbers 8, 9 to the bar following 9. So 4 more potential bars. That's 2 more hours out here. That takes us to about 4 o'clock into the close, where you would potentially see a short-term top inside the NQ. But right now, right here, right now, knowing these bottoms that have formed inside the NQ, knowing that price is above the top of the profile for the 30-minute time frame, we'd have to open up this chart and take a look at the other 7 time frames to see if there's any other signal that says otherwise. And when we take a look at it, the answer is no. Not inside the NQ. You got price above on the NQ on its 60-minute time frame. A TD9 count bottom says 14,812 becomes the target. The 120-minute time frame is above the top of its profile and oscillator and change line. The 240-minute chart held the TD9 breakout level of 14,625, as did the 5-hour time frame chart. So the NQ, don't go short the NQ. Not right now. Maybe at 4 o'clock if a TD9 count pattern forms, but not right now. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back up, folks. We're going to go take a look at an instrument for one of our Denners out here, Dan from Boston, and it's Cassava Sciences. And in essence, I believe, Dan, the question is, do we see any signals to suggest that price is going to get back to its recent highs out here, back from February 4th in the 117? Oh, you're not seeing the charts. That's a problem. What are you seeing? Oh, you're probably seeing a blank screen. There we go. Sorry about that. I forget I keep multitasking using different charts out here. So you should be able to see the daily time frame chart for Cassava. SAVA is the ticker, Cassava Sciences. SAVA is the ticker symbol. And the question is, will price get back into the February? There's any signals that say price will get back towards that high of 117. So here's what we know about the daily time frame right now, Dan. This is going to become bar number 8 of a TD9 count. So we know that a high on a TD9 count. And last time this formed, well, if we let's just take a look at Cassava and see how it's handled the last couple of TD9 counts out here. The last one formed on June 21st. Price stalled, moved sideways. In fact, yesterday was the first day above that, negating that pattern, suggesting that price should move higher. Which really, I think you had were looking at some type of trade earlier this morning, I think it was, and I was pointing out, or I'd mentioned to you that on the short-term time frame chart, such as a 30-minute chart here, when price gapped down this morning, it opened at about the 92 level, but it made its way right back to test the breakout level of 90.90. So, folks, we talk about these TD9 breakout and breakdown levels out here. Here's a 15-minute time frame chart that would have assisted. So here's the 15-minute bar all the way back here, 9:45 this morning, 90.71. So price pulls back and tests those levels. But yesterday you got a message out here with price closing above that prior TD9 count. That had been negated and price should move higher. So it's not a surprise for us to see what it's doing out here. We know that a top can form on bars 8, 9 to the bar following 9. So that says a high in Cassava or Sava SAVA could form between today and Monday. So, yeah, this is signaling it can get back. Well, whether it gets all the way back up to that high or not, that I don't know. But you're looking for some type of topping signal. It's not today, or I don't think that it's today out here. And so that says, yeah, you can take a look at that come tomorrow, come Monday. The weekly time frame chart, as we take a look at what is its signal, well, this is going to become bar number 9 on a weekly basis this week. That would say, okay, next week could be the high. Could see a higher high out there. So, yeah, that's all falling into place with regard to what your action plan is. And on the monthly basis, we don't have any signal out here. Well, I take it back. On the monthly basis, we have a signal. Well, we don't have a signal. It's too early in the month. It's only the 8th of July. But right now, the way the price is trading, it's a very strong move because price is above its TD9 count top out here. So in summary, what I would say, Dan, is that yes, you've got signals to suggest that price should move higher, and now is not the time to put on that hedge. But that hedge might be put on come tomorrow. Maybe I would say Monday would be the better time period to look at it based upon the TD9 counts that we've got on the weekly basis out there, and knowing that it could be the bar following bar number 9, which would be Monday, where you take a look at that. So that's what I would look at, but I'd also go then to those short-term time frames, and I'd look for some type of signal, right? So let's take a look at this right now. Just back to the 30-minute chart out here. There could be a new TD9 count pattern that forms, but you really want to keep looking at those patterns. And the reason that you want to look at those patterns is because what this stock chart has told you is that it's going to need to close below the bottom of it's going to need to close below a TD9 breakout level to suggest that what you want to do, that you're really on the right side. Now you've got to wait for that, right? And you've got to wait for that TD9 count to set up. But based upon the action that we've seen in the 15 and 30-minute chart out there, that's what I would be looking at. I would be looking to get that confirming information for you on ticker symbol SAVA, and especially do that based upon what we're looking at on that monthly chart, which is showing mucho grande strong to the upside out there. So you're welcome. Thanks so much for writing in and asking. Let's take a look at JJ writes in. This is James. He says, I was counting through from yesterday and post and boy. So you get the same TD9 count I've got on BL. So I guess what you do all your counts. So I guess you do all your counts from the open. So this is James. Yes. So I think James maybe was just referring to the BLL stock out here, and in this case here, James had called it. So that's James. Okay, great. So yeah, that's I love your intuitiveness, Jim, and because one of our denners, which is Mr. Bill, was pointing out that he might have got your TD9 counts because inside the Thinkorswim application, he can do it and include the extra hours trading. I do not use extra hours trading for my TD9 counts or anything, quite frankly. I use it to understand what's going on in the markets based upon any open positions that I have, but I do not use pre-market data on the equity instruments. I don't use any of that data out here. And so, yeah, that will get you back to the signal. And I think that that's the way that you should do it as well. But you've got the ability to take a look at both and kind of go from there and see which works best for you. So thanks for following up, Jim. I was really waiting for Mr. Bill to confirm from that. He was trying to run that test on his Thinkorswim application as well. So the other question that I see out here right now comes from Dave V. And Dave writes in, he says, just looking for an entry into CCL, and that's from Jenison, Michigan. Interesting. I don't know where Jenison is out there. So CCD is the ticker symbol. Let me do this here. Let me move this chart off the screen, and I'll start that CCD on that, and then we'll get that. Oh, was it CCD? No, CCL. Nice job, Steve-O. Is that Carnival Cruise Line, CCL? Let's see out here. Let's get this thing to populate. Yeah, it is Carnival. So, and there actually is a CCD. How about that? But we need Carnival Cruise Lines on my other chart. So here's what we know about Carnival Cruise Lines. Not looking good. So when I say not, we're looking for an entry point. So not looking good. The reason I say that is price is below, well below its bullish structured daily profile. It's well below its bearish structured weekly profile. Looks like this is going to be week number 2. So that just takes us over to the monthly chart, and that says, okay, price should pull back to at least 2104. 2104, Dave, is the top of the monthly profile. I'm not saying 2104 is the buy point just yet, just that is where price is very likely headed to in Carnival Cruise Lines. Let's pull over the other charts and see if there's any other kind of signals to assist Dave and I in interpreting what's going on the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, a TD9 count pattern formed 2 days ago, and yesterday price sliced right through it. That is a very bearish message, directionally speaking, meaning that it is a strong momentum move to the downside. The next momentum price area is its breakout level, and that is going to be 20.96. So 20.96 out here is where Carnival Cruise Line is likely headed based upon the daily time frame. Is that the buy point? No, I don't know if it's the buy point or not. Ideally, you'd see some type of bottoming signal. Do you have to? No. But you'd want to see that on a short-term basis for sure. As price gets back to that support level, some type of bottoming signal, and then price take out resistance. So we believe that the Carnival Cruise Line likely headed to the 2096 level. The weekly time frame chart, as we open it shows us what? Ooh, boy, it shows us that price could get back to $11. We're not going to go there. We don't need to go there. Why? Because we've got 2096 that would be up first out there. 30-minute time frame, we see a little bit of a counter trend rally that was attempted. That counter trend rally only gets legs if you see a close above 24.29. So Dave V, which reminds me of Dave Valentine, great flutist out there. I believe he's from Michigan, Canada. Be patient when it comes to Carnival Cruise Line. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Thanks, folks. A request by email to take a look at ticker symbol ENPH. That is Enphase Energy. What we know about it right now, it's trading above the top of its bearish structured daily profile form. It looks like about 3 or 4 days ago, above the top of its weekly profile and above the top of its monthly profile. So here, everything is looking pretty well. The question is, you just would appreciate the analysis. So from a profile standpoint, everything is bullish out here. Let's go take a look at the other background chart, see what we're looking at. And as we open this up on the daily basis, we can already see that a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal formed yesterday. So what does that leave us with? Price is below the oscillator and change line. That's currently printed at 182.65. The signal here, because key levels of support have not failed, it's going to be neutral to, I'm just going to put this as just an outright neutral signal. If price were above the green oscillator and change line, it would switch from neutral. It would change to neutral to bullish. Right now, it's just plain out neutral with regard to the signal. So, and what that means is it means it's neutral. And I'm not certain. It's not clearly communicating to you and I what it wants to do. It's got the valid topping pattern. Price has held one key level of support, but still underneath that oscillator and change line, saying they get a further pullback or further test. And that test could be of today's low. It could be 164.62. It could even be 136.18 if price were to close below 164.62. But that's not its message. So the daily time frame for end phase is neutral. Would I exit the position if I was in it? I wouldn't. I would make sure I've got a stop price up there. So I'm sure that this trader does as well. On the weekly basis, the weekly says, hey, today's or yesterday's move down was nothing more than a test of that oscillator and change line. I'm in bar number 7 of a TD9 count. So key level of support is held. So that adds to the bullish side. In a weekly chart, if that's the time frame that you would trade, its message is clearly bullish out there. At least I believe that it's bullish. On a monthly time frame, you've got a TD9 count that just simply took price right back to support, which was back to the top of that monthly profile, now price above its oscillator and change line. It's bullish for the monthly time frame. So your issue out here, really with regard to end phase, is the daily chart. And what it really needs to do in order to get its bullish mode back, it needs to close above yesterday's high. That's 196.02. Folks, have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Building wealth